What's up, Kilo Crew? Ah, crap. Wrong channel. Not even me. Um, People used to say Creep Nation, so I used to say, "What up, Creep Nation?" That was a long time ago, but I keep getting asked, mostly by the same person, why my name is Creep. Let me explain it to you. Drop some knowledge. My nephew was setting up my Xbox Live account years ago, and there's a guy I knew a long time before that used to play Quake online, and he would like camp basically and snipe people. And his online name was Creeping Death. And so when we made that name, it was already taken, obviously. And so how it was spelt was creep, like you see, with the threes instead of the threes instead of the e's, and the fours instead of the a's, and the one instead of the I. I'm pretty sure I used a G instead of a 6, but I think it was just the vowels we replaced. But all my friends, everybody called me Creep, so I shortened it to Creep. Plus, if you're on the enemy team, you saw this freaking long name on the other side of the map, and so I would get sniped a lot just because people would see my name. So that's why it's Creep, because that's what everybody called me instead of saying, "Hey, Creeping Death." Nobody says that. I hate syllables. Everybody else does too. One syllable words are my favorite. So I try to explain this to people, and they look at me that don't game, and they're like, "Well, why don't you just change your name?" And it's like, because I've had this channel for a long time. A lot of my friends know me as Creep. Maybe someday, if this channel gets really big, I will start another channel. But until then, this is where we're at. And I know I don't have my yellow shades on, and it sucks. I can't find the dang things. I love those. You got to get yourself a pair of those, especially if you like nature and clarity. Get a nice pair of yellow ones like the ones I have, where it takes out the glare. The colors are so vibrant. You can see everything so much better. I have bad eyesight anyway, so when I put those on, it's pretty awesome. I hate dark sunglasses. So, especially when you're driving. Actually, anytime. I just hate dark sunglasses. They're just too dark. Those pink champagne like colored ones are really awesome too. I like those. That's another one of my pairs that I really like. I haven't. I lost that pair a long time ago. Now I've lost this pair. See, that's one of the things when you drink and do drugs. When you lose shit, that's what you have to blame it on. It's like, man, I would always misplace shit when I'm looking for it. You can't even backtrack, retrace your steps because you don't remember. So, but when you do it when you're sober, you're like, now it's like, all right, maybe it is age. I'll pick that up later. I hate when people throw cigarette butts in the yard. So yeah, that's a little concerning. But everything's going well since June 1st when I got my year chip. But certain things concern me. You know, just having to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and deal with all the implications of what you did sucks. It's embarrassing. It's not really embarrassing anymore. I wouldn't call it embarrassing anymore. I think there's people that I know that from around the time all my shit was going on that I pretty much haven't talked to for a long time. Someday I'd like to talk to them again. I miss those people because they're probably like, "What the hell's up with him? Where'd he go?" Because I kind of fell off the map with a bunch of people. So still haven't got a job, which is not all right. I don't like that. There's one job that I can get, but because of my back, I don't think I could. I could probably try. I'm actually starting to think about it. Because I keep talking myself out of it that I probably wouldn't be able to do it physically. For people that don't know, I was hit by a drunk driver in '95 and was almost paralyzed from the waist down. Well, I was temporarily, so that sucked. When you wake up and you can't move your legs, you go into panic mode, which I did. That was really scary. And now that I'm older and I don't have a gym membership, so I don't. I mean, I got weights at home, but I've always been one of those people to where I need to go to the gym. You know, fix that so you're not looking up my nose. So yeah, I got that. I just got to do it. I got to call that guy and say, hey, can we do this? Give it a shot and see if it works out. Yeah, there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Now I'm freaking blanking. I started doing this video and then it stopped recording because I had 57 freaking videos on this phone that you know, because you got to clear everything, you got to delete them, and then you got to go into your trash bin and empty your trash bin. Well, I never entered the trash bin to empty it, and there was 57 of them in there. So like I started doing this, and it was like only 3 minutes long, and I was going good. I was going strong. Then it went away. So going back to losing shit while you're sane and can't be blaming it on alcohol or drugs. It reminded me of a story. There's two people that have told me these stories where they've both times they drove their vehicle through the back of their garage. And both times I'd be like, well, how the hell? And they would explain to me how they did it. And so I asked both people. I'm not going to say their names. One was my sister, one was a friend of mine. Don't tell them. Don't tell them I told you. But I asked them both, were you drunk? Both of them, no, I was completely sober at the time. There ain't no way I would tell anybody that story and tell them I was sober. I would tell them I was drunk off my ass. No way. No way I would let people think I was freaking of sound mind and body and I'm driving through my house. Yeah. Words of wisdom, people. Even if you don't drink and you do that, just say, yeah, the only time I ever drank in my life was the day I drove through my house. So, my neighbor actually drove into my house. That was funny. I think she was sober too. In my house, the driveway, this is a long time ago, was on an incline. Not a big one, but if you put your vehicle in neutral, it would roll down. and their driveway was exactly on the other side of mine. My neighbor Mike, they had an RV, and his driveway wasn't really on an incline, just a little smidgy one, just enough to get the rain to trickle away from the garage. He redid all the brakes on the RV. They were getting all ready for camping and shit. One thing when you redo the brakes, especially when you have to crush the calipers back in with a C-clamp. When you're done, you start your vehicle, and before you put it in drive or anything else, you pump the brakes and get everything back on the brakes. Well, he never did that. I'm sure drinking had nothing to do with that. Probably did. But his wife wanted to take her friends out, give them a little spin with the RV. She puts it in reverse, starts backing up. There's no brakes. She panics, and I'm in my living room, which is on the other side, kind of away. And my garage was attached, but also my whole house just goes. I'm like, what the hell? Thank God she hit the corner. She didn't go right into the garage, because that really messed everything up. But I had these heavy duty corner posts, and she ran into that. And she was sober at the time. She just panicked. Thank God my house was on an incline, though, because she really would have drilled it, I think. She hit it hard enough to rattle the house and left a dent in the wood. I know you're wondering if the RV was fine. It was fine. So, had a good laugh at that. That woman, I remember we were having a party over there one time, and Mikey had his little bar set up. He was super excited, so we had a neighborhood party over there, and he was pouring shots of Jack Daniels. Lori took a shot of Jack Daniels, and we're all looking at her, and she goes, lemony. We're like, what the hell? Anybody else like to know? Anybody else think that Jack Daniels has a lemony taste to it? Let me know. Everything's going well. We're at almost 13 minutes, so if this thing cuts off, I'm not going to reshoot. So I'll say it right now: be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Peace. I know it's Nick Merckx says something similar to me, which I kind of thought was cool that he says that. I've been saying this for years. So, and I really just kind of started watching Nick Merckx stuff. So, I don't know how long he's been saying it, but I thought it was cool that he says it too. Similar, not the same. But one thing that's always been bothering me is through the years that I could blame on drugs and alcohol, but now I can't. So it's always been concerning me, thinking, am I still a criminal? Is this illegal behavior? And that's what I love about the internet, is you can look this shit up. So I was like looking it up to find out. Well, then it brings you right to an IQ test, which I can't even spell that. And when you're done with the test, it gives you your results. And I looked at my results, and I got a 69. I was like, 69 out of 100, that's pretty good. And I looked it up in the table, and it's like, good news, I'm not a criminal. I am legally retarded.